Um, Hello, fellow diamond painters. Uh, it is 2 in the morning. Uh, it would be May 9th, I believe. I hope you can hear me. I'm trying to use my other phone because, yes, the other one makes me louder, I suppose. And it, it's got an issue. I don't know what that issue is, but if I barely touch it, it flips. I don't think it stabilizes right. Hope I'm recording. So I just got through taking my puppy out, so that's why I'm up, which I've been up. And I just finished watching Becky Sloan's video, which she does excellent. And she's right. It's what us diamond painters do. We get on here and talk to ourselves. And the one thing I learned is you're not crazy for talking to yourself. You're not even crazy if you argue with yourself. Where you lose the argument is when you lose the argument. So I'm not going to lose this argument with myself. I'm going to get on here, diamond paint, and chat with you guys a little bit. Or I should say ladies and gent, because we do have one visiting. Diamond painting with Mike. He's hilarious. I love his diamond painting. And he definitely chats away. I thought, like Becky said, to tell a little bit about ourselves, if you ask or don't ask. First, I want to apologize for whatever lighting may be bad here. I'm not a studio. And if you hear some crinkling, I apologize for that as well. That would end up being the plastic I've rolled down, and I have to lean over it, and it may crinkle at times, and I do so much apologize for that. I want to thank everyone who has subbed to this channel. I want to thank everyone who continues to come back to this channel. I also want to thank everybody who has viewed it, whether you've subbed, commented, or not. It doesn't matter. I thought for a while I'm just doing this for myself, but I want to do it for whatever community there might be. Lazy Retired Granny says, that she didn't think she would fit in the beginning and things like that in her conversation of her last video. I didn't suspect I would even fit in because I'm just a diamond painter like everybody else. And I didn't do it to fit in the beginning. I just did it to show what I, had. That was it. I'm not anyone any more special than any other one that's on here. And there's definitely some on here that are way better than me. I mean, way better. So I thought I would come on and maybe just tell you a little something about myself. A little story. I alluded to it, probably in my second or third video, I'm not even sure, when I mentioned about being told I had type 2 diabetes. That was January 4th, 2022. I went to the doctor and she told me that my A1C was at that level. It was 8 point something, which is type 2 diabetes. I am 5'3", and at that time I weighed 220 pounds. Considered obese by anybody's standard. Whether you go by the BMI or you go by my own standard, overweight. So the first thing I thought about was I didn't want to die. The second thing I thought about is I had lost a distant friend a year before that to kidney failure due to type 2 diabetes and other issues. And I didn't want that happening to me. It scared me. So I came home that day, and that day I made a drastic change. Anything I had in my pantry after I read the ingredients, anything that had high carbs, anything that had sugar, anything that was a no-no, I packed up. I took it to a lady a couple doors down from me that I knew could use the food. It wasn't open, wasn't expired. What I knew she couldn't use, I took the rest to the food bank. What was used, sorry to say, I threw it away. I then found out that to eat healthy was very, very expensive. In the beginning, I learned that I had to eat at least, well, it started out 5 meals a day, which was breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a couple snacks in between. I couldn't eat that much because what I was used to is filling up 1 time a day. And that was bad. And usually what that consisted of was maybe a takeout. And that stopped immediately. No takeout. None. The only issue I had was stopping all that stuff, including any soda, was the sugar withdrawal. And I'm not a big sugar person. My downfall was carbs. It was potatoes, potato chips, bread, those type of things. And I stopped that day on the 4th of January. Cold turkey. No takeout, no chips, no soda. And I found that when I initially started buying the things that I needed to have, yes, like I said, was expensive. I now use almond flour if there's something I really want to make. I've made mini loaves of bread in my bread maker with almond flour and the ingredients required for very, very low carb. I eat my breakfast, which usually consists of cottage cheese and anything I can put on it. Tomatoes, a few little grapes, and maybe a scrambled egg or two, depending on how hungry I am in the morning, which isn't a lot. And my lunch usually consists of a large salad because that's what I like. Dinner is weighed out. I don't count the calories. I only count the carbs. And I try to make sure there's enough protein. And that was January 4th. And 4 months later, when I went back to my doctor, my A1C, and if people don't understand what it is, they can look it up. That's the total sugar levels, I suspect, in your blood. Anyway, I went from I think it was 8.9, or at least 8 point. In 4 months, I went from that to 5.5, which puts me down to what the doctor says is a normal level. And at that time, I think I lost, 15 or 20 pounds in 4 months. So I was at least at about 200. So I'd lost that 20 pounds. The next thing, she wanted me back in again in another 4 months. So anytime I got any kind of craving for a takeout, I made it here at home. Healthier, less calories, less carbs, more protein. And in 4 months, when I went back again, I was at 182. So I dropped down again. She said, don't come back for at least another 6 months. You're doing fine. I was shocked. January 4th, 2023, this year, I went totally from 220 pounds last year on January 4th. And now, as of January 4th and then some of 2023, I now weigh 158. Now, if you go by BMI, it says I'm still considered overweight. But I'll tell you right now, I feel 100 times better than I've ever felt. I don't have cravings for takeout. None of that stuff. Because my downfall was Chinese takeout. I could fill that styrofoam container and bring it home, and I wouldn't stop eating it till it was gone. Not in one setting, but I would eat it at dinner time, which for us was about 5 o'clock. And then by 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, I'd be hungry for it again. I don't know if I was hungry for it or I just wanted it. And I'd eat it again. That played on my overweight and diabetes. So I learned to control all that. I even started walking. And I am 71 years old. I don't do a lot of walking. Forget that. In the first few months of walking, I went from maybe a little bit around a block to about 2 to 3 miles every time I walked, which for me, is excellent. So now everything I eat, everything I do is now second nature. I don't have to think about weighing it. I don't have to think about the carbs that are in it, because I am so used to doing it after a year that it just has become natural. And like I said, if I were to get a craving for takeout, like Chipotle, I love those with I think it's the fajita bowls, or the veggies in it and everything. Well, I don't do rice. I just do cauliflower. I do cauliflower rice. That's my base. I do all my veggies, add my spices, and it's delicious. I think it's better than the takeout. If I want an orange Julius in the summertime, I can make it myself, and I don't have to even use orange juice. You just use, like you have the vanilla, the imitation vanilla. You can get imitation orange and imitation lemon and all that, and then you just squeeze a little bit of that out of the bottle, add your ingredients, and you have your own orange Julius, which tastes way better than the ones you get at the Dairy Queen. And it's cheaper, and it's healthier, just not on a constant, everyday thing. Any desserts, you can do the same thing. I still love potatoes, so now I buy kohlrabi, which is a German turnip. It's mixed between a turnip and a radish, I believe. You slice it up, you put your cheese on it, a little bit of heavy cream, make layers of it, and you've got scalloped potatoes in the oven, and it is delicious. So that's my year-long story. And now that I found diamond painting in January, any stress I might have had over worrying, about the condition I had, or, well, I don't stress over it anymore. It's not worth that. I try to wake up every day and say thank you for another day. And I want to say thank you to everybody who keeps coming here and listening to a crazy person babble on about pretty much next to nothing. Lazy Retired Granny, thank you so much for accepting me and encouraging me to make a channel. Crafting Chef Diamond, thank you. Is all I can come up with. It's just thank you. Becky Sloan, your channel is fantastic. It'll continue to grow, believe me. And I don't know a whole lot, but I know when someone is being truthful and being true to themselves. And you are that. One of a kind. And Mary Cross, who has commented several times on my videos. She knows who she is, and she knows what she said. And I thank you from the very, very bottom of my heart and my soul for all the kind things you have said and for coming to watch and listen. You touch me every day with your words. It's amazing. The comments I get, I try to answer every last one of you. And you make it so easy for me to continue to do this. You don't have to like what I say. You don't have to subscribe. And you don't have to comment if you don't want to. But I'm glad and grateful for those who have and continue to come back. I hope this video wasn't too boring. I hope it turns out okay. I try to be as genuine as possible. And this is me. This is it. Nothing special, nothing new. Just an old lady sitting here, diamond painting. Some would think, you're just whittling your hours away. But I'm not. I think I'm accomplishing a lot for me. And I'll keep doing it until I can no longer either see or pick up a diamond painting pen or a pair of tweezers. So I'm going to check this video and see if we can get it up. It is now 2:26 a.m. I'm probably going to continue to diamond paint. I hope you guys have a nice Tuesday coming. I hope it's good weather. Ours rained a little bit this evening, and then it quit, but it's damp and a little dreary. Hard to tell at 2:30 in the morning. I can show once again my Oberon, if it's visible. This is him. And if I can find a picture of my gizmo, I'll see if I can get it on the video. I have to go through some little digital thingies to see if I've got a good one of him. So I thank you so much for coming. What I did want to mention, I forgot, it is a round, and there are 46 colors. Well, there's 45, and they have that crystal one that's in there in the candles. And then 3 ABs, which, as you can see, with or without the light, I can turn the light out if it changes anything. If I can even hit the button. You probably can't see the shine, but it's all the way across the top and down most of all the sides of these 141 ABs. Lots of fun. So I will end this now. Hopefully you all can hear me. The ladies I mentioned in here, visit their channels. Crafty Chef Diamond, Becky Sloan, Crafting with V. I'd like to hear from you. And Lazy Retired Granny. Thank you all so much for inviting me, supporting me, and keeping me diamond painting. Love you all. Bye-bye.